Okay, so I'm back and I'm all set up ready with my my air wrench. We're using a 3/4 socket, okay, and with an extension and the impact, of course. Um, when you start compressing the spring, you do a little on each side at a time. You don't compress one side completely because it'll cause damage. Okay, so once you get this compressed and you feel comfortable enough about the spring being in a good position, then you'll take this top nut off, okay? But do not take this top nut off until you have this compressed and you feel comfortable enough to where the spring is not going to get away from you, okay? All right, so here we go. I'm gonna start compressing one side, and I'm gonna start with this side because it's a little bit out of an angle and I'm not liking that. So here we go. Okay, a little bit on that side. Now you come to this side. All right, make sure you're lined up over here. Okay, now back to this side. Okay, back to this side. Okay, all right. Got to keep going. We're not even that close yet. Okay, now back to this side. Okay, back to this side. All right, it looks like our spring is compressed. Okay, now before you take that nut off, make sure everything is good. Like I said, you don't want this thing to go taking off on you. Okay, looks like everything's good. Okay, my pins are in place. All right, I don't feel like it's going to slide off. So, and I think I'm going to take the top off now. Now that's a different size. Okay. Let's see, so that's 3/4. Now we're going to use, let's see here. Let's try a 5/8. Yep, nope, too loose, I don't like it. Alright, let's try a 14 here. One, which is a 5/8. So I'm going to go with a 5/8 because the 14 doesn't fit. So what you want to do is you want to see how far this is down right here, okay? All right, and looks like everything's good. All right, so now we're going to back this off. Okay, so now you take everything off, all right? Now you make sure you're very careful with this, okay? Put it all down here as it goes on, okay? Now, you see how your spring is on, how it ends right here? That's the same way we're going to put it back on when we put it together. Same with down here, you'll see a little lip where the spring hits against. That's where you're going to put the spring against when you get it compressed, okay? All right, so now let's get this off. All right, so this center here. Okay. Keep all that on there, okay, because that's for the spring. All right. So now we have to decompress this, and when I do that, I'm going to make sure it's in a good position to where it's not going to move on me or anything, okay? So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take the strut out of the vise, and I'm going to probably set that up in the butt. I'm not sure yet. Or maybe I'll just leave it on the table here and decompress it a little at a time. Okay? Alright, let's see what happens here. I want to do this to where we're safe, okay? Because, like I said, this is very dangerous now. This thing gets loose and you could hurt yourself, possibly even kill yourself. And I hate to see anybody get hurt, okay? Alright, so I'm going to do this slowly, alright? Okay, do that side, now this side, this side. Okay. Okay, do this side, do this side. Okay, do this side, do this side. Okay, and this side. Okay, that side's loose. Now it's this side. All right, we're good. She is loose. See? Now it's safe again. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been a mechanic for a long time, and that scares me. But gotta make that money, honey. All right. So let's get the other one set up here. Alright, and take your safety pins off. Alright, and then you have to take your pressures off. Okay, there's one. And here's what I mean by the safety pins. That keeps it from slipping off, which I love that. That right there is a saving grace when you're doing this. Okay, so we'll take the old one, we'll put it aside. Alright, now we will take the new one, okay? Now, I'm going to show you the difference, okay? Let's see, let's come over here. I don't know if you can see that, but you see this one's just a hair bit shorter, okay? Believe it or not, just that probably, I'd say a half an inch makes a big difference. That's how much it drops your car. So, we're going to compress it and get it put back on the strut and get the mounting plate put back on, and that's basically how you do a strut. So, I want to check alignment here. Now, when you put this on, okay, you get it to where it's going to be aligned, so you know when you get it on here, you know where to put it, okay? Now, doesn't look like this is going to have to be compressed much, but let's get it set up and see how it looks. Okay. All right. So get the first side on. Okay. All right. Now put the safety pins on. Okay. So that's your first side. Okay. Now let's make sure this is going to be okay. Yep, it sure is. Okay. Then we'll take the other one. Okay. And we'll get this set up on the opposite side. Okay. Let's see here. Like that, but it should be okay. Let's see here. Okay, get the pins on. Put this on the opposite side. Now let's tighten these up a little bit to get some tension. and see how they sit. Okay. Okay. That one's tight. Now let's get this one tight. This one seems to be, it's just the way the spring, where the spring is, or how the coils are going around, but this one's going to be a lot smaller than that one, but that's okay as long as they compress at the same rate both sides, then we should be okay. Make sure when you get this set up that you have plenty of room for your bolts to travel through wherever they need to travel through. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable doing this, I suggest you take it to a professional and let them do it, because this can hurt somebody, hurt yourself, whatever. And if you're going to do this yourself, I recommend that you do it when nobody's around. Okay? This way here, you don't hurt anybody, you don't get sued, because there are people like that in the world. Alright, so I think I'm pretty much set up there. Now, let's start compressing and see what it does. Okay, I'm going to start with this side. And I'll move this compressor over this way a little bit. And that one there. Okay. Alright. All set. Alright, here we go. Oh, I see. I went over the plate. Alright, I'll bring this back over. Problems you will run into. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now, this side. Take your time. No rush. Okay, there's that side again. Now we're going to come to this side. Okay. Now this side. Alright. Now, once you think you got it compressed enough, go ahead and take your cover and put it back on. Okay. Now I see a problem here. The shock. Alright. I put a clamp at the bottom here so that it can't do that while you're compressing. But I seem to have a problem with my spring. So I have to move the strut. There we go. Now we're in the crevice where the spring's supposed to sit. Now tighten it back up. And I use rags on the vise so that it doesn't scratch up the, the strut or the spring or anything. Because when you're doing this for somebody else, you want to make sure you give them nice product, okay? Alright, so here we go. Put that over here. And get this set up. The vise, or the clamp, so it can't move. It doesn't have to be very tight, just so that it can't move back and forth, okay? Alright, now that we got that in the right position, the spring goes on in one position, okay? So, now we're going to take this and put this on here, and there is a certain position this spring sits in, so you got to make sure. Okay, see how much room I have here? Alright. Alright, so now I got enough. Now let's get the bolt on with the nut. And okay. Alright, that's all. Now, let's tighten that down. with 5/8. Okay. Make sure you don't twist. Okay. Okay. Alright. And now you're back to safe. And that's how you swap springs out to lower a 2003 Honda Accord. Thank you for watching.